Yes, let me introduce myself. It's 8:06 on Sunday evening, so it must be Rick Howland, the Blackheart Conservative. And if it's Rick Howland, the Blackheart Conservative, it must be 8:06 on Sunday evening. I'm enjoying the melodious tones of my daughter, Jennifer Howland, singing about, let me introduce myself. One of these days, if I play it long enough and loud enough, you think I can get her a Grammy? You think? I think so. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great week. We've got my two regular guests on. Now, maybe I ought to quit calling them guests. They just seem to be like bad pennies. I pull up out front and there they are.
Lucky bad penny.
Lucky bad penny. Well, anyway, we
Uncle Me Shorn, and the Liberator, Richard Henderson.
Help me, Jesus. Anyway, I decided somebody brought a concept to me this evening, and I said, yeah, okay, it sounds interesting. So tonight we're going to have our subject. I have no clue what my subject is, but Richard Henderson is picking the subject. I'm not saying he's running the show.
Oh, no.
But he's picking the subject tonight, so.
Well, I wanted to first thank you for allowing me to have this glorious opportunity to pick the subject. You know, this is your show.
Well, give God the glory. I don't.
Above all, yeah. God gets the glory on everything. Those seen and unseen, He gets the total glory on everything. Yeah. But to speed things along, I thought we'd talk about defections, and there's been recent news about certain people in politics have cast their support for certain individuals, and I just wanted to get the conservative perspective on one in particular individual in this week's news. But before I get to that individual, I want to ask you a question. This is not rhetorical.
Yeah.
I do want your opinion and your understanding on this for the record. What is a rhino? Now, I do know the acronym stands for Republican in name only, but what constitutes a person or a Republican who is a rhino?
Well, somebody who I'm kind of a follower of an adage that Ronald Reagan used to have. Said if you can agree with somebody 80% of the time, and you disagree with them 20% of the time, then you can agree. You can find things that some issues you're going to agree on, and you can build a relationship with that. So I wouldn't call somebody that I disagree with 20% of the time a complete rhino. But when you get down to certain situations where people have given their word and have given speeches and have come and raised money for their campaigns with on issues and make promises on those issues and can articulate the reasons why, to convince you that they really do feel that way. And then like Mitt Romney and what's his name finally, when his last vote, McCain. With his last vote, to turn to vote against a bill that had been written to his liking. Mm-hmm. That bill was composed so that he would be pleased with it, because everybody knew he was dying. Mm. Yes, it is. And in honor of him, they were going, and then he killed it because he didn't like the personality of the president that was supporting it.
So you consider that's a rhino because he killed a bill that was a Republican tent pole.
Well, yeah, but that was the last in a long string beginning in 2000.
Okay,
where I watched him treat people who were his natural allies like dogs, and treat people who were who he claimed he had very little in common with, treat them well. And treat them as friends, refer to them as his friends on the other side of the aisle. And then if he disagreed with a Republican, he'd go after them and try to cut their heads off. Okay. So that's a good example of a rhino.
Okay.
Right. Susan Collins, I like Susan Collins because Susan Collins is honest, but she's honorable about it. You know where she's going to go and when she's going to, you know where she zigs and where she zags. But
okay.
A rhino is the one that that literally has fooled you for years, and then when they get the opportunity for success that they swore, and then they get that opportunity to do it, and then they cut your throat.
Okay. Well, the reason why I say this is because of all of the Republicans that have come out for support for Kamala Harris. The other side says, oh, well, these were rhinos and these were people who weren't really hardcore Republicans. Yep. So then explain to me, because you cannot call this person a rhino, Dick Cheney support for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I can.
And if you say because what he did to his daughter,
you're going to wait a minute. Now you're going to qualify what my answer can be.
I said if. I didn't say qualify. I said if you say because of his support for his daughter and what Trump did to his daughter, if that's what your excuse is, if that's what
it's not an excuse. Okay. If I think you did something to harm my daughter, it's going to be a cold day in the other place.
But would that be enough to? Would that be enough to pull for against your party's victory?
Well, yeah, I would. I wouldn't vote against God, but it might make me mad enough to punish that entity, that individual, Donald Trump, to keep it. But see, Dick Cheney knows in his heart and in his mind that when he makes a vote in favor of Kamala Harris, who holds nothing in common with him as far as
politics, policies, everything. Yes, we understand it.
Core principles. Core principles and what's right and wrong. They are. Would they agree on breathing oxygen? Sure. There's for him to do that he's lost his freaking mind.
No, or everybody, including, which I'm going to hopefully get to in the next segment, everybody around him who knows him, who's worked with him, realize he is not presidential. He is the wrong person to be in that office.
Except he did a pretty good job when he was there for 4 years.
No, he
right
didn't.
Back, Blackheart conservative. We'll be right. 5710970.
Got a big gathering? Feed a crowd the easy way with City Barbecue Catering and the best barbecue in town. Freshly smoked daily at our 2 locations. Our original off Whittington Parkway in Hurstbourne and now on Poplar Level Road near Kroger. From a company picnic to a wedding, our catering pros will deliver beef brisket, pulled pork, pulled chicken, ribs, or even smoked turkey breast. Dine in or carry out. Order online at citybbq.com or download our free app with City Rewards. Get $5 on your first order.
BMW of Louisville presents Trinity High School football.
He's going to cut right side. He's got some room, picks up a block, stays on his feet, spins into the end zone. Touchdown, Trinity.
Trinity football is also brought to you by Smiles on Hurstbourne, Louisville Chrysler, Tony Boombah's Pizza, Freedom Mini Dental Implants, Holy Smokes Barbecue, Detzler Insurance, Veritech, and United Mechanical. Follow Trinity football all season long on Kentuckiana's Voice, 970 WGTK.
We're speaking with 401k rollover specialist Tony Walker. Tony, when is the best time for savers to roll over their 401k plan?
That's a really good question, and while certainly anyone can move their 401k over to an advisor, the biggest misconception among savers is that they cannot move their 401k until after they retire. Now, in most cases, you can roll over that 401k before you retire. You can move a previous 401k from a previous employer over to someone like us. In most cases, if you're over the age of 59 and a half, even if you're still working, you can roll that money over to safer territory with us. And finally, as we just mentioned, of course, when you terminate employment for any reason, you should seriously look at rolling that 401k over to an independent fiduciary so that we can get the most out of that 401k for you and safeguard that money for your future.
Thanks, Tony. To schedule your free meeting with Tony to discuss your 401k, log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hi, I'm Barbara with Word Media Group. How would you like to create a strategic partnership with us by creating a 30-minute teaching talk program or advertise your business? If you've answered yes to either one of those questions, you can contact me, Barbara, at 502-345-9017. That's 502-345-9017. In 2024, I hope the love of Christ fills your hearts with his richest blessings.
John Burke, owner and president of United Mechanical, is a proud supporter of the Mike Rutherford Show and Louisville Cardinal Sports. Listen to the Mike Rutherford Show Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 on Big X Sports Radio, WXVW's 96.1 and 1450 for the latest news on Louisville sports. United Mechanical is your trusted partner for commercial and industrial HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration. Get on board with the home team today. Get on board with United Mechanical. Call 502-339-1133. Let's go Cards.
Lowe's knows to start fall projects, you need reliable outdoor power equipment from Ego. Right now, get your choice of a select 56-volt blower or chainsaw for $249. The 56-volt technology powers over 80 tools, so you can switch from blowing leaves to cutting trees with ease. Save time and money with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Valid through 10/2 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Item number 520-7558 and item number 435-4078.
Anybody here seen my old friend Abraham?
Can you
tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seemed the good they die young.
The good die young.
You know, I just looked around and he's gone.
I wonder where they came from. The good die young. I don't think it's Bible, because a whole bunch of people
Anybody here seen my
didn't fit
old
that.
friend John?
Can you tell me where he's
Tell
gone?
me where he's gone. He freed a lot of people, but it seemed the good they die young. I just looked around.
Dion and the Belmonts. Well, that was minus the Belmonts. That's
just Dion.
Just Dion. I remember, man, I love that song.
1969.
Yep.
It was a very good year.
I was playing with it, and then I thought about it. I need to shut up and just let everybody hear it, because that was a great song. He is he still alive? He's got to be close to 90 years old.
Dion's still with us.
What is he? 85, 90 years old?
110.
No, he ain't that old.
No, I don't know. I'll look him up.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a caller. Ron, #1. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. How about y'all?
We're doing pretty good. Pretty good. What's up? Is this my Ron from 201?
And this is my Ron from Jesus. I represent a higher power than an organization. But yeah, this is, you can say 291.
Yeah.
You can say PAVE. You can say a number of other organizations. But you recognize me from 291. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much.
It's good to hear your voice, man.
It's always, man. I got the text and I was like, man, let me see what's going on with these bright minds of America.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know how bright we are, but we are Americans.
Bright.
Yeah.
I don't say that as a joke. Y'all are bright.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a country where we can express ourselves no matter what the opinion, no matter what the discussion is.
I was just joking.
Move on from that.
I was just joking with them. They know how to.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what you got on your mind?
Man, I was just listening to you all about Mr. Cheney jumping ship. I mean, my thoughts on that is, we talk about democracy, we talk about the Constitution all the time. I mean, I think he's allowed to do that.
Sure.
I mean, Bernie Sanders.
Sure.
A few other folks have expressed that they make no bones that they don't share the same values.
Sure.
But for whatever reason, this gentleman he and his wife, his family or whatever have to support her. And I guess it's a lot of controversy that come with that.
Not really.
But,
not really, because as far as relevance is concerned, Cheney's kind of he's tired, man. He's old. He's older than I am. He's tired. He's had health problems going back 40 years. I think he had his first heart surgery. He was in his 30s, maybe early 40s, and he's struggled quite a bit. I like Dick Cheney. He's been one of my favorites for years. Except when he accidentally mishandled a weapon and shot that guy in the face.
That's another topic.
Yeah, well, accidents happen.
I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that whole story alone. But you're right.
But as far as his daughter has done and said a lot of things that have insulted a lot of people, not just Donald Trump. And because she has found herself in a situation where people that used to support her don't want to be bothered with her no more. And I could see where he might, be kind of bent out of shape about that, because that's his baby girl. She's daddy's girl. She's followed in his footsteps her whole life.
But can you explain all the other party flag bearers, such as the Bushes, such as any of the former, any of the former people in, let's talk about anybody in his cabinet.
The Bushes were that was personal.
But even George, former president,
he made what's his name, the one that ran in 2016. That he just snatched it away from. Donald Trump just
Jeb.
Jeb Bush. And I like Jeb. I met Jeb. We had a long conversation. But
if it was just a name calling insult, it would be like Rubio. It would be like Ted Wolfman, crazy fool down there in Texas. I can't think what's his last name. The senator who went off to Cancun when his state was having the power. What's his name? Ted Cruz.
I forgot it.
Cruz. It would be if it was simple. If it was as simple as name calling, and he did. It doesn't matter.
He went back to Texas.
He went back to Texas because he was caught.
Himself.
He was caught fleeing the state, trying to have a excursion when his state was in peril. But we're not going to circle on. I'm not going to deal on that. I'm just saying.
The Texans know him well.
Okay, but I'm just saying. What about? Let's take the RNC for example. Mitch McConnell. Are you going to say he's a rhino? Are you going to say he's a person who has concern? He was booed severely by the party when he stood up there to give the delegates support to Trump. Okay, but you notice how all the people who would know this man Trump, his former cabinet members, people who were in his, and you're going to say all of them were rhinos?
Some.
You're going to say
not all his cabinet.
Okay, but even only 4 people out of his cabinet have anything good to say, and only 3 of them will be willing to work with him again.
Most people.
His daughter ain't nowhere near to be found. His wife ain't nowhere to be found. This is a man whose character, policies, and he's not even Republican by policy. Really,
can I tell you why his daughter, why his children, he made a mistake of involving his family when he first got in.
But he's presidential.
Yeah, he made a mistake because he worked with his sons. He knows his sons are apt. He had them working on his staff. Okay?
This is a mistake. Mm-hmm.
It was not. It was not a mistake from the point of view that they couldn't do the job. It was his mistake, and I think he realizes it is because people are shooting at him now. Mm. I remember I used to work real hard at being a rock star many years ago. And I remember my oldest boy was old enough and big enough. I said, if I make it, me and Steve can be my bodyguard. And my wife had reminded me of something. She said, "Wait a minute, you would put your son in danger in case somebody wanted to hurt you. You would use your own son to be." And I thought about. I said, "Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Somebody want to hurt me, they'd hurt my kid first." Right. So I said, well, no, I wouldn't do it. So I'm thinking a lot of his Laura, a lot of his family involvement. I think he is kind of in part of them leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Because
my bad. Let me step up.
And truthfully, they already shooting at him. They shot his ear off trying to blow his head.
Listen, when you throw yourself out there, you got to weigh all that in. See, we tend to overthink stuff and try to rationale stuff that really don't need to be weighed in like that. When you catch your name out there as a public figure, that's what comes with the turf. So to say that was a mistake, because you always want to pass on a legacy, right? We agree. You always want to boom. It's just like a business. You're going to tell me you got a Fortune 500 business and you want to keep your family a secret and you want to protect them and this and that. Now you're going to have your son or daughter and your queen beside you just in case something happens.
Until you find out people are shooting at you. Then you want your kids as far away from you as you can get them.
Where has Ivanka been in the last 3 years?
You don't want a shot.
Where's Jared been? I don't even know what they look like anymore because they haven't been nowhere near him or the campaign, even before he got shot.
Wait a minute, both his boys have been good.
I'm talking about Jared, Ivanka and Jared.
Oh, but you talking about the young boy?
No, Ivanka and Jared.
You're talking about his wife.
No, I'm talking about his oldest daughter and her husband. Yes.
He got him out of the line of fire.
They were never in the line of fire in the first place.
Yeah, they were.
Everybody
was trying to put her. Law enforcement was going after him and his daughter.
I understand what he's saying. They wasn't nowhere to be found anyway. Now we want to.
Yeah, because the
young boy.
What you call it? They resigned from the positions they had in his government.
Yeah,
they resigned and went away.
But if you're looking for somebody, you're talking about people's character. First off, some people keep sending me messages about how Kamala is mean and evil and her character and this and that. But we're looking at a person.
Yeah, anybody that would. People are walking around attempting to be ignorant of Kamala.
Attempting to be ignorant.
Yeah, Kamala.
Until she does Trumpian stuff. There's really nothing to compare.
She's done Trumpian stuff. Yeah.
Really? Has she gone to an Arlington cemetery and stopped for a photo op? Has she done that? Most recently.
It doesn't matter.
And you being a vet, sitting over here quiet.
He was invited there by the families to come there and do that.
And then why did the Army say that he was in violation? Why did everybody else, all the vets say? Well, I want to hear from the vet over here, first of all, because he's been awful quiet.
Well, wait a minute. Now you're going to tell the host to shut up.
All right.
Okay. I mean, the situation, I mean, that's the thing you do. You like to throw a lot of stuff against the wall, and I can't remember which one I should start with first.
It's called confusion. Confusing the enemy.
Just throw a whole bunch of little brown balls against the wall.
Well, this is how the debate's going to be if they had the mics turned on.
Yeah, well, hey,
and
that would be all right. We'll be right back. 5710970, area code 502.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. More than 3,500 structures are being threatened by a wildfire in the foothills of the National Forest east of Los Angeles. The so-called line fire burned uncontrolled Sunday along the edge of the San Bernardino National Forest, around 65 miles east of L.A. As of Sunday afternoon, the blaze had charred about 27 square miles of grass. Authorities have been searching a rural area of southeastern Kentucky for a man suspected in a weekend shooting along I-75 that wounded 5 people and damaged 9 vehicles. A deputy sheriff says 32-year-old Joseph Couch is suspected in Saturday's shootings and is being sought. Authorities say they've recovered his abandoned SUV and a semi-automatic weapon as well. The mother of a student in class with a boy accused of killing 4 people in a Georgia high school says the school should have known because the warning was given 30 minutes prior and it could have been prevented. She says administrators at the school didn't protect the children enough. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solution.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
The Unify USA Grand Prayer Rally is coming to Louisville, Kentucky, September 10th. This night of prayer for the nation kicks off at 6 p.m. with the Isaacs.
Now, brothers, let us watch and pray like Daniel did from day to day. He prayed to God. He prayed to God every morning, noon and night. When you're weak, I'll be strong. When you let go, I'll hold on. And when you need to cry, I promise I'll be there to dry your eyes.
Then, join pastors from around the nation as we pray for our nation, our families, and our future. At the Evangel World Prayer Center, 6900 Billtown Road. Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-in-a-lifetime event. Visit unifyusa.org. That's unifyusa.org. September 10th, 6 p.m. with the Isaacs and more. The Grand Prayer Rally at Evangel World Prayer Center. Presented in part by 88.5 WJIE.
The weather pattern stays quiet as we kick off this new work week. Another cool night is on the way, with many of you dropping into the 40s to start off the day on Monday, but we'll warm up quickly through the afternoon with plenty of sunshine, a little haze in the sky as well thanks to wildfire smoke. We'll see highs tomorrow afternoon in the upper 70s to low 80s. From the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Carson Meredith.
This forecast, a service of Dalbo Insurance for home, renters, auto, and life insurance. Call 502-265-0128 or visit thaterieguy.com. The following program has been pre-recorded.
That's a 50s
name of the song. Hit song. Badu.
Who's that? The Spinners?
No, it might have been Silhouette on the Shade.
Okay.
The guys that did Silhouettes on the Shade. Who was that?
The Moonglow.
Moonglow. Sincerely.
What year did that come out?
Somewhere in the 50s.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when that came out.
Yeah, it was 50s.
Okay. I was still probably a gleam in my daddy's eyes.
That was one of those songs that, Sincerely is a song that's in what they call the American Songbook. It was probably written in the 30s or the 40s.
My pop was just a little jump start at that point.
Yeah.
Didn't the McGuire sisters do a version of that?
Oh, I'm sure everybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody did. Frank did. Everybody did. Now, they did have a big hit, the Moonglows, yeah. But anyway, me, Shorn Daniels, I want to introduce him again. Everybody's forgotten he's on the show tonight. He's been very kind to us. That big booming voice didn't blast us out the door.
Yeah, laying back in the cut, waiting to take a shot at me.
So anyway, how you doing, me, Shorn? I know we've...
And it's all good. I've been actually intentionally being quiet, and especially when you said that Richard was going to give the
Here we go.
topic and everything, so I decided I was going to sit back and listen, because I know I've been told, I'm aware of how the liberal-minded mentality operate. You got to be careful about the white rabbit. You know, I just saw the movie. The Matrix,
the white rabbit, cocaine.
Rabbit. Yeah, you know,
heroin.
The white rabbit. They say follow the white rabbit. He take you all. I'm a military guy. You better be careful in all these following the right
Inbound
rabbit
artillery.
and going down holes and everything. They don't mean no sense. That conversation and all that other it's just a totally waste of time. Okay, because bottom line is that if you are a person that's rational and you think about the natural and the unnatural things, you see one party and you saw that bus come up and you saw all the unnatural things that was going on and everything on that bus, you would probably like to say, pass me by. Okay. And so when you see things that's natural, the things that are natural things, you stay. So you would say, that's my bus because I believe it's the destination I'm going. You don't allow yourself to get distracted with all those things because, I've been in so many conversations.
Like pronouns.
Yeah, pronouns and, he grabbing people and he done this and all that, all those shenanigans and everything and got nothing to do with where the bus is going, okay? When you know and understand your destination, and I'm talking to anybody who's an individual, individually, you have to decide your destination. You cannot get caught up with all these personal, things or what the candidate did over here or what the party. You have to identify. It's like going to a restaurant, okay? You have to already be hungry before you get there, okay? And usually you have to look at the menu, right, Ray?
Yeah.
You look at the menu and you decide what it is you want to select. Once you make that selection and everything, you tell the waitress that this is what you want. It wouldn't go very well if you change your mind. Change your mind after they done already done all the preparation and everything. Yeah. So sometimes when people decide they want to get off and everything, that's on them. It's on them. Only thing we who decide to do what we got to follow our path. Okay?
That's right.
We got to just follow our path. Okay, so that's my response to Richard wanted to control the conversation and tell us, about all the different things or what people getting off and on. That's their choice.
Focus on
what matters to you. That's why I started. Yeah. I didn't even realize. Focus. Follow one course that is successful to you. Yeah, to you. Look how that tie that in. Didn't even realize. Look how that tie that in. Matter what focus to you, not what everybody else is doing. Just what matters to you.
So for about 3 minutes, we just got the most incoherent, unrelatable,
that was pretty
unrelatable, unrelatable to the topic at hand.
It addressed the topic.
It was very much relatable.
Well, I just asked.
We were talking about what was your subject?
My subject was defections.
Defections.
And what did y'all think about Cheney defecting?
Like I said before the show started, I defected when I was 4 or 5 years old. No.
What the hell?
No, I started out left and I defected at 28. That's what happened.
Gary, that guest still there?
Yeah.
They caller still there?
Yeah. Buck, are you there? Buck, how you doing, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Have you been yelling at us?
Well, I tell you what, I got about a minute.
Okay.
When Rick was 8 years old, Dwight Eisenhower was president.
Yep.
And historians say he was like a humdrum, middle-of-the-road president. But he started the interstate system.
Yep.
And he said, beware of the military complex that will build up arms.
Hey, can I tell you something about that speech? Read that whole speech. It wasn't very long, but the very next paragraph, he tells us to beware of academia.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody ever quotes that one.
Yep.
They only quote making the army and the military the bad guy. But he also gave us a warning about being real careful about academia.
Yeah. Plus the military complex that the Democrats and Republicans both invest in, like Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
They want war because they make money on it. And Democrats and Republicans are guilty of it.
I don't know. We have a pretty rough, evil world, and at some point, there's only been 200 years. They call it Pax Romana. During the Roman Empire, there was a period of about 200 years where they didn't have a war in the Roman Empire, and since they controlled most of the world at that time, That was considered the only time of peace that the world has ever known.
Well, that was
but it really, I agree. But it also they did have to put down various rebellions, like Spartacus, the slave rebellion that was pretty huge.
Right.
That was a war, but they didn't counter the war because it wasn't another country.
Barabbas.
Barabbas. Barabbas was in the Bible.
What was the one that
Spartacus.
was? No, it was Spartacus, and there was somebody else that was African. Big black, big general or somebody that
in Rome
that he had elephants. Hannibal.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the Carthaginians.
Okay. Right.
Well,
I'm surprised you know that because they don't teach that in American history. Well, you're a little older. You probably were taught. They don't teach American or world history.
If Andy was here, and I love when Andy used to say,
Andy knew everything.
Andy was very smart and everything.
Yeah.
But Andy, when you talk about war,
Andy Hodges,
he said that he liked the Asian war. He said you got to be always ready, prepared to show your sword. Okay, showing your sword, they don't always take it out.
Saber rattling.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. Saber rattling.
Yeah, they just show it as a sense of strength. Yeah.
Saber rattling.
Are you really serious? Do you want to finish?
Yeah, right. Do you
want to finish that sentence?
They just show it.
Yeah.
To let you know.
Do you want to finish that sentence?
War.
The new term is called saber rattling.
So,
hey, Buck, are you going to hang on?
Yeah, now, beware of the military complex.
I'm more afraid of the academic project. I mean, that's where all
I'm more afraid of the
all the radicalization that's coming out right now. You better pay attention to the colleges and universities. God bless you.
Need work on your heating or air conditioning? Go with Christian-owned and operated Divine Services. Serving Metro Louisville and the Tri-County area and servicing every make and model. Divine Services features Tempstar heating and cooling products to replace your old worn-out unit. Tempstar high-efficiency heating and cooling products. Quality you can feel. Online at DivineServicesLLC.com. Call Divine anytime at 502-712-1979. That's 712-1979.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Time now for your Daily Disruption. Here's Leland Conway.
So Alexa gets caught red-handed, being incredibly biased when it comes to the election. Listen to what one individual did and what the answer was that they got when they asked it about voting for Donald Trump versus voting for Kamala Harris.
Hey Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes any political views.
Hey Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
Why vote for Kamala Harris? Because you believe in her policies and her vision for the country. Because you trust her experience and her leadership skills. Because you want to continue moving forward as a nation and make progress on issues that matter to you, like healthcare, education, equality, and justice.
It's almost hard to believe. Now, for their part, Amazon came out and said that it was an error. First of all, how is that not on purpose? You've got to be kidding me. There's no such thing as an error in this situation. It was a purposeful programming. But they said, of course, that the error has been fixed. I guess my question to you is, why do all of these errors, like ChatGPT, showing us all kinds of weird images when we call up the Founding Fathers or Vikings or whatever, that was an error that was fixed? My question is, why do these errors always go in one direction? Think about that. Now, my opinion is that this is a big error that was meant to be caught, because the smaller quote-unquote errors, the ones that truly influence society, are happening in the background. You won't see those as easily.
This has been your Daily Disruption with Leland Conway. Want more? Visit thedisruptionzone.com. Join Leland Saturday afternoons at 1 for The Disruption Zone. Hard-hitting topics from business and innovation to health and religion. The Disruption Zone. Saturday afternoons at 1 on Kentuckiana's Voice. 970 WGTK.
Hi, I'm Ed Schraggy, and if you're a business owner and listener of this station, you could have a commercial on one or all of our Word Media radio stations to help you generate more sales. We have everything from contemporary Christian music, praise and worship, Christian teaching, conservative talk, and sports. Call me on my cell, 502-777-0518. Again, 502-777-0518. And learn on how we can help you grow your business.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
These eyes.
Oh, man.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, but I can't remember who it is.
I heard it.
The Guess Who.
Guess Who, yeah.
The Guess Who. All right.
Man, one of these days, Gary, you're going to play a song closer to my generation so that I can chime in and guess it too. When did this come out?
1969.
Yeah, that's what I figured. 3 years.
Yeah. My son was 2 years old.
I was 8 years old.
My daughter was 1 year old.
I almost
was working on my third year, man.
I wish you play something close in the late 70s and early 80s next time so that I might be able to get that.
Oh,
it's your show.
Maybe Dave Reichel is listening. Maybe he'll
I don't get to pick the music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Guess Who? Yeah, that was good music though, man. Yeah, man, that dude had a nice voice.
I'm not doubting that. I just don't know.
Well,
I know. I'm too young.
I mean, a lot of the stuff you listen to wasn't really music, anyways.
All right. Listen, as I was telling you off air, that Thomas Sowell was on Fox yesterday, and he left a interesting dialogue that I thought was very important. He said, based on the idea, he says, bottom line is we have an ongoing majorly increasingly, grossly increasingly, ignorance in America that sought to silence the knowledgeable. Now, I want to pause that.
Yeah.
I had to pause and think about what he was saying.
It's how you get canceled.
He said there is a gross amount of ignorance in our society today, okay, that intentionally seeks to silencing the knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I want to send that to you, if you don't mind me asking Richard. Why did you think Thomas Sowell said that? What was his? What you take? What you get from that?
Well, and once again, because I'm a moderate Democrat, I feel I can say this. There used to be a time where things like shows like the Jeffersons and Archie Bunker, stuff like that, was acceptable TV. And so we are getting a little bit too politically correct.
Little bit.
Well, let me finish. He asked me. So in his reflection, in his what he was saying on that, I can see where today's society is too sensitive compared to where we came from. I got that. Okay. And before you start saying it's the Democrats' fault, okay, good. You're not assigning it to a party. Good, because I can say it's on both sides.
No, it's on both sides.
It's on both sides. But that's my understanding that those with knowledge, earned knowledge, applicable and proven knowledge, are slowly but surely being pushed out because it offends the people coming up in this generation today, whether it's correct, and it's kind of like the Bible. One of my things that I would campaign on all the time is the truth is true regardless if you believe it or not. And a lot of people, and I'm not pointing fingers, but a lot of people have a problem with the truth. They want to either spin it, make alternative facts out of it, or they don't accept it. And where Mr. Sewell is coming from is the fact that this society today has a problem with people of knowledge.
So I'm going to have to say to you, because of my lawsuit, and I'm going to turn this over to Rick. When in my lawsuit, my attorney.
Be careful now, because you're not. Some things you're not.
No. I'm not going to say anything. My attorney kept telling me, when I kept giving them the truth of what happened to me and what occurred with me, my attorney kept knocking me upside the head and telling me, he said that it's not about the truth, it's about what can be proven. Now, Rick, what was he? I understand now, because I understand what got me to being able to get through my case. It was never about the truth that I was trying to tell. I was defending myself, or I was fighting against what can be proven. I think that's the type of world that we're living in today, right now. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. They only concerned about not getting caught on something that,
because there's only one person or one entity that knows the full truth.
So
and
my
he's
question
up above.
So my question is it truth that we're trying to seek in our society anymore, or trying to hide from the truth or being exposed?
I think it's human beings are human beings, whether you're liberal, whether you're conservative.
Right.
Everybody can slip. Everybody can make a mistake and be on the right side today and in the wrong side tomorrow. What was his name? Thomas. There was back in the Middle Ages, there was a bishop in England. He was an Anglican bishop, or was he Catholic? Because there was a civil war going on back and forth in the British Empire back in those days, in the 12 or 1300s, something like that. And Thomas, one was named Thomas something, the other was the guy with the bowl haircut, Cromwell. Then you had Bloody Mary. She was the Queen of England for a while. But they had a succession of royalty in England, where the Catholic Church would rule for a while, and then the Anglicans would rule for a while. And there would be a lot of death on both sides that were martyrs. If you've ever heard of a book called Fox's Book of Martyrs, Fox's Book of Martyrs is really accounting of all the martyrs, and it really ends up, by the end of it, you have actually read about the history of the English, Western Europe, especially England, about all the people that were killed because they had a different, sometimes just a different view of who Christ was, and neither one was wrong, but it would turn into a war.
Have you ever heard there is a parable where it goes like this: the truth and the lie. Well, the lie was in a lake, naked in the lake, frolicking in the lake. When the truth walked up to the lake and said, "Oh, the water looks good," the lie says, "Why don't you come on in and join me?" So the truth takes off her clothes, jumps in the water, and joins the lie. The lie then jumps out of the water, puts on the truth's clothes, and runs off into the bushes. When the truth gets out the water, she's naked and tries to tell everybody who she really is, but because nobody believes her because he's wearing her clothes. Yeah. So that is part of what
that's part of what the attorney was saying. Yeah. That's part of what Thomas Sowell said as well. Okay, that's very good. I'm glad we recorded.
I never heard that.
Record that again.
I never heard that.
I mean, do what you did the other day. You recorded the show and sent it out.
Okay, yeah.
I like what you did. That was really cool.
Yeah. That means you got to write a script and then read it. Don't just wing it. Off the top of your head. It don't work. But I don't even know what time it is, man. We've had such a peaceful time.
5 till.
5 till.
Did you notice why it was peaceful?
Because we didn't argue.
Yeah, we did.
We chopped up a little bit.
Anyway, we'll be right back. Blackheart Conservative. Time for the cool down. We're going to sing Kumbaya, Kumbaya, Kumbaya. We shall return.
BMW of Louisville presents Trinity High School football.
He's going to cut right side. He's got some room, picks up a block, stays on his feet, spins into the end zone. Touchdown, Trinity.
Trinity football is also brought to you by Smiles on Hurstbourne, Louisville Chrysler, Tony Boombah's Pizza, Freedom, Mini Dental Implants, Holy Smokes Barbecue, Detzler Insurance, Veritech, and United Mechanical. Follow Trinity football all season long on Kentuckiana's Voice, 970 WGTK.
Looking for the city's best barbecue? You found it at City Barbecue. Now with 2 locations. Our original off Whittington Parkway in Hurstbourne, and now our new location on Poplar River Road near Kroger. City Barbecue smokes our own fresh meat daily, along with our delicious side dishes. Try City Barbecue's tender smoked beef brisket, pulled pork, pulled chicken, ribs, or smoked turkey breast. Dine in or carry out. Order online at citybbq.com or download our free app with City Rewards. You get $5 off your first order.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
We're speaking with 401k rollover specialist Tony Walker. Tony, when is the best time for savers to roll over their 401k plan?
That's a really good question, and while certainly anyone can move their 401k over to an advisor, the biggest misconception among savers is that they cannot move their 401k until after they retire. Now, in most cases, you can roll over that 401k before you retire. You can move a previous 401k from a previous employer over to someone like us. In most cases, if you're over the age of 59 and a half, even if you're still working, you can roll that money over to safer territory with us. And finally, as we just mentioned, of course, when you terminate employment for any reason, you should seriously look at rolling that 401k over to an independent fiduciary so that we can get the most out of that 401k for you and safeguard that money for your future.
Thanks, Tony. To schedule your free meeting with Tony to discuss your 401k, log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com.
I'm trying to wait for the boom, 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 boom. All right. This is Blackheart Conservative. We're about to say good evening. We're about to say kumbaya. Say kumbaya, Richard.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. This is Uncle Me, Shorn.
Shorn. And this is Rick. And kumbaya. Don't forget to pray for our nation. Let's pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Let's pray that the Middle East settle down. That's the key to how much longer we survive. People say it's the last days, but they've been saying that all my life. But somehow this seems a little closer than normal. So God bless you. Have a great week. And let's remember to pray for our nation. Pray for one another.
Watch that debate.
And watch the debate. We haven't talked about the debate. Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday night. Am I right?
Yep.
All right. And
you want to do that next
pray
week?
that America make up its mind correctly. It's going to be rough either way. God bless you. Love you. See you next week.
This is Kentucky.